Happy Hispanic Heritage Month, everybody. This is the Slider Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about Princess Protection Program. So this was a Disney Channel original movie that came out around 2009. Yeah, it's been a long time. And it stars two very famous former Disney Channel stars, that being Selena Gomez and Demi Lovato. What makes this movie even more unique is that back in that day, they were friends. And also, what makes it even more unique is that it stars two of the most probably famous Latinos to ever grace Disney Channel. Selena Gomez being that of both Italian and Mexican, and Demi Lovato, I'm not sure what Demi Lovato. I know she's Hispanic, maybe Mexican or Puerto Rican. I can't remember which one. I'm gonna go with Mexican for now until I look it up online and then correct it in the little video. But I know she is for a fact Hispanic. And so those two, like Selena was probably the second Latino star that they ever had Disney Channel, because the first being that of Lorraine, and she is that of Filipino, but of Latino heritage and stuff. And so, yeah, and Lizzie McGuire with Lorraine, that came out in like the early 2000s. So Disney has a lot to catch up on. And so when it comes to this movie, it's cool. Even though technically Selena doesn't play a Hispanic in this movie, she plays an Italian because, like I said before, she's half Italian. So the guy who plays her father is fully Italian and also white, I think. So she's playing like an Italian like character, which is still cool. I mean, she can, you know what I'm saying? I mean, she's like biracial and stuff, so there's no problem with that. But this was kind of cool because Disney hasn't really been the most diverse in like all the decades they've been around. And so the fact that they made this like movie with two Latino actresses is saying a lot. And so, because I remember I already told you about the Gotta Kick It Up with their first Latino movie and stuff. So technically, even though this isn't a predominantly Latino movie, but it has a lot of Latinos in it, this will be considered kind of like their second, And so Demi Lovato character, she plays a princess in this. So technically, she is Disney's very first and for now only Latino like princess, even though she's not a traditional Disney princess animation one or in or any other movie. However, Disney will come out with a Snow White movie where they cast a Latino actress in the role. I'm not sure who that Latino actress is. Because it's Hollywood, she's not really I don't think she's dark skinned, I don't believe. So it's more like the lighter tone Latino because, they got to do that for Hollywood standards and stuff to make certain people happy and stuff. But at least representation will be shown in that movie with a Latino actress. So that's a good thing. Because like I said before, I don't think they've ever had a Latino like Disney princess and stuff. They just had their very first black one a few years ago and their first Hawaiian a few years ago. They're really slow on this. And Hollywood is really slow when it comes to Latino representation. Now, let me say something first before I go any further with this movie. Demi Lovato, as of last month, September of 2022, she now goes by the pronouns she, her. Once again, she's no longer doing the they, them thing and stuff. So, and this is October 2022, if for whatever reason Demi Lovato changes her pronouns for like the millionth time, don't come at me, all right? That's all on her. She needs to make up her mind and stuff. So that's why I'm using the pronoun she and stuff when it comes to her, because that is what currently she is going by. But she changes her pronouns like constantly. There was one point in time she was thinking about going by it. I got nothing to say about that. The only thing I have to say about that is it is an inanimated object, and humans are animated. So I don't understand how humans can call themselves it, because it is literally just something that is not alive, and people are very much alive. So that's as far as I'm gonna go with that and stuff. So I don't care what you change your pronoun to, but if you're gonna change it to something, make sure it's a living creature. Because it is inanimated and stuff. So anyway, this movie, when it came back out, this is when both of them were at the height of their Disney popularity. Then Selena Gomez came in with Wizards of Waverly Place, and Demi Lovato came in with Sunny with a Chance. I love Wizards of Waverly Place. That is my show. However, when I watched this movie, I knew who Demi was from Sunny with a Chance, and I knew because she was always that person with that lovely smile and everything, but I had never seen her act. And so, because I never watched Sunny with a Chance, I think like last year I tried to watch it for the first time. I only got as far as probably 3 episodes and I gave up. And stuff. I'm just not into like Disney making like a sketch comedy show, which is not really a sketch comedy show, but more like a show within like a show. If I'm gonna watch a sketch comedy show, I'm gonna watch a legit sketch comedy show and stuff. And so, but I am very pleased because Demi Lovato is a really good actress, and she's an amazing singer. And I've already told you before, like, I love myself some Selena Gomez from back in the day, her Disney Channel. She had like so much personality and stuff like that. Now, a little side note for those who might not know, those two used to be best friends. They got started in the same television show called Barney and Friends. I used to love watching Barney and Friends back in the day. However, back when I watched it, those two were not on the show. I watched it back in the 80s and the early 90s. And then once I got older, I stopped. So I never got a chance to see them except for like YouTube clips and stuff like that. But when they did the whole Disney Channel thing, they were really, 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 really good friends. However, sadly, Demi Lovato has announced that her and Selena, along with the Jonas Brothers, are no longer friends. They're friendly towards each other now, thankfully, because before they just wouldn't even talk. But supposedly they're friendly around each other. They're just not close no more, and that's quite a shame. I don't know what the world happened between those two, but it must have been huge and everything. However, there was some indication, because Demi Lovato pointed out years ago when they asked, why aren't you still friends with Selena? And she said, ask Taylor. And at that point in time, I didn't know which Taylor she was talking about. I didn't know if she was talking about the werewolf dude from the Twilight movies or Taylor Swift. But it turned out to be Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift and her girl squad and all that mess. Okay, anyway, so I like this movie. It's really good. It's pretty cool. The only problems I have with this movie is somewhere towards the middle and end, where it kind of falls apart and the writing is kind of sloppy. Before that, the writing was very solid. The story was very solid. It's just when you get to the end, and it's kind of like they really didn't know how they was gonna end it. They didn't really know kind of like what the ending was kind of like gonna be about. It's just, you can tell they got some major writer's block when it got towards the end, because it just got very sloppy and stuff. Other than that, I think it's a really good movie. It's your traditional Disney Channel movie where you take like a real life type situation that could happen and probably has happened in the past, and then you add like a Disney flair to it, give it a little wackiness and stuff, but keep it pretty consistent. And so that was the norm around this time in Disney Channel. Now, both ladies actually recorded a music video for this song. I didn't know that at that time. It's a really cool song from what I heard in the end credits. I'm gonna listen to it after I'm done recording this. And you can find that on YouTube as well. And so, like, what's really cool about Latino representation is that, like I said before, Demi plays a princess who turns into that of a queen. And so the people who are part of that country, they're like Latino. It's a made-up country called Costa Luna. It's like, but they're all like Latino, and you get to hear some like Spanish being taught in this, and that's kind of cool because the thing about Disney Channel, even when they have Latino characters, you really don't hear no Spanish being spoken and stuff. And so that was like really, really cool to hear. And so, but another part that kind of like got me towards the end that kind of messed me up was that this movie really doesn't have no type of moral lesson to be learned. That's something very prominent in almost every Disney Channel type movie. That some type of lesson need to be learned, but I can't find one in this movie. Also, with the Selena Gomez character, she's supposed to be kind of tomboyish, kind of. She's not poor. Her dad has a really good job, but it's like even though they're not poor, she has a poor rinky-dink type job. So, and they live in like, Louisiana in the swamp area. So it's kind of like, I don't get the fashion sense of how they dressed her. She basically dresses like Alex Russo and everything. And she's still glammed up with like the lip gloss and everything like that in her hair. So I don't understand why they were trying to portray Alex in this movie. They should have had Selena be more downgraded instead of more glamorous and everything. So I really wasn't feeling the style choice of like the clothing and the hair and the makeup and stuff. So I don't get that. And and then also the life lesson that her character Carter is supposed to learn. I don't understand what lesson she's supposed to learn because for the most part, even though she's not totally happy with her life, being a princess is kind of like the last thing she wants to be. So I don't understand how teaching her life lesson is dolling her up like a princess and stuff. So they dropped the ball there. That's why I said with the writing got kind of lazy. Also, the way they defeated the bad guy, the writing got kind of lazy there too. But other than that, like I said, like the first probably like first two halves of this, or the first 2/3 of this movie, really good. But then once you get to that third part towards the end, it just kind of falls apart. So what is this about? Well, like it starts off with Carter, played by Selena Gomez. And so she works at a bait shop where she sells bait to like fishermen and stuff like that. There's this dude that wants a bunch of them. She's gonna give him that for free. That's the deal. If he lets her ride in his Corvette and everything. Convertible. And so he has two of the girls there, the two mean girls of the movies. One's the Queen Bee, played by Jamie Chug. I didn't even know that was her back in the day. I've seen her in a couple of stuff. I'm actually about to talk about a movie, slasher movie that she's in a couple of days from now and stuff. And so I didn't even know that was her back then, man. So anyway, so he just drives off. He basically just used her. She has a huge crush on him, but he's just the player type and everything. And so her dad gives her a ride to school. He said he's away on business. He goes to another country. He's kind of like Secret Service government type thing, right? And instead of carrying a gun, he carries a sword. I don't understand that. But then again, it's Disney Channel, so. And so, like, then we go to Costa Luna, a fictional country, a small country that most people don't recognize and it's not really on a map, but they have a royal society. The king has now died. Demi Lovato's character, Princess Rosalina, she is now next for the crown. Her mother can't take up the crown because, just can't. That's how that stuff kind of works. There's a general dude who wants to take over. The mother fears that. That's why she called in Carter's dad. Next thing you know, all heck breaks loose, and the general dude, he takes over. So Carter's dad gets like the princess out of it, but leaves the mother because she said, he can only take one of us, and it might as well be you. So he keeps the mother hostage. And so they put her in the Princess Protection Program, also known in the movie, their words, not mine, PPP. So anyway, what it is that it's an organization that protects princesses. Basically, whenever somebody wants to like off them and everything, they put them in this protection program, and there are tons of them here. And they not degrade, but they what's that word called? Not glamour up, but downgrade. That's it. They downgrade them, so nobody will recognize them and stuff. And they teach them how to blend into normal society. So that's what they're gonna do with her character. She's scared. She's frightened. She'll only listen to the dude who protected her, which is Selena's dad or Carter's dad. Now, this is what I don't understand. They said they have to cut her hair and all this other stuff to make her look like a normal teenage girl. But when they cut her hair, she still looks absolutely the same. So they didn't do a good job. And so she's going to live with him in Louisiana in the swamplands. And Carter is not happy with this. And, you know, because she doesn't like the poo-poo princess like type people and everything like that. So the parts that I like in this movie is, you know, what comes next is the princess is trying to integrate into normal society. She has a very hard time. She's very proper. She's very prim. She's very poised. She knows how to speak like 6 different languages and everything. And everybody's just loving her up. She's not doing a good job blending in. Now, Demi Lovato is doing a good job acting, but her character can't blend in. You can tell there's something off with her. Well, Carter has a friend, some dude who likes to take pictures and works at a bowling place, and he don't get much screen time. I don't even know why he's there, to tell you the truth. You take him out the movie, it doesn't even matter. He has a crush on Carter, but she could care less. And so he's the best friend who thinks he's gonna get, like, he's in the friend zone. He thinks he's gonna get like the date. He don't get nothing in this movie. So he literally the nice guy who falls last or whatever, or comes last. So, of course, there's conflict between Rosalina and that of Carter. They pretend to be cousins and all this and that. And one of the cutest things is when the princess eats a cheeseburger. Carter puts a lot of mustard on it, and when she bites into it, there's mustard all over her lips. It's a cute moment. I still remember that from when I first watched this years ago. And so, of course, the mean girls are threatened by this. They try to embarrass Rosalina, but she's kind of like, you know what, I'm going to hold my head up high and turn the other cheek and everything. And that's exactly what she does. This gains the respect of her peers after they was making fun of her. Carter is getting jealous because everybody just loves that of the princess. They don't know she's a princess, but they just love her. And so this causes conflict between those two. And so at some point they do start to bond and everything. And this is when the princess starts to teach Carter how to be like a princess. I don't know why, because she doesn't like that type of thing. But basically she tells her, you know, like even the dude that Carter likes Rosalina, and so does the best friend that used to like Carter. And so she tells him that dude's nothing but a player, blah, blah. So she teaches her how to be the princess. Well, one of the mean girls finds out that what's her name's the princess because in the magazine. Hair is similar. Like, how do they not know? They should have dyed it or something. Gave her glasses. Make it look different. So she tells the ultra mean girl. And so they're all fighting for like prom queen and stuff like that. And so, you know, the mean girl, your typical mean girl, she's pretty funny, she's pretty hilarious, she's really ruthless, stuff like that. So, when Carter's dad find out what's going on in Costa Luna, the dictator dude, general, is gonna marry the princess's mom. So, and also the princess finds out, so she plans on going back. But, you know, Carter tells her you can't do that. But anyway, this is so weird. This is the part that also falls apart, like how they catch the bad guy. Basically, I still don't understand how they would think they're gonna pull this off. So, Princess tells Carter, you know, like, I have this one dude who makes all my dresses, stuff like that. The mean girl ruined the 2 girl dresses. So, Carter comes up with a plan. She calls this dude over the country and says she needs 2 dresses made. One's blue, one's pink. Carter gets the blue one, and what's her face? Princess gets the pink. Now this was so Carter changed it to where they have to wear masks now at the party. So, of course, the bad guys think Carter is the princess. I don't know how or why they would think that, especially since the princess always wears pink and not blue. Anyway, they take her, but then somehow princess finds out, stops them. So like, oh, the plan was gonna work, but you ruined it, blah blah. So when they go put the real princess in the helicopter, it got ambushed. So inside the helicopter are the agents and everything, and Carter's dad, and they stop like the bad dude and stuff. And so the bad dude takes off running, and then Carter's dad chases him. He goes through a bunch of steps. He's happy that he escaped the agents, and then so he cackles and everything. All of a sudden, here comes Carter's dad, tackles him. He stops the cackle. What the? It's so Disney, man. Anyway, day is saved. The dude who used Carter in the beginning, he's all like, "Oh wow, you look so good in your dress and everything. I like you now." And she's like, "Nah, I don't want you." And so he doesn't get to have Carter, the best friend, who's a nice guy and did nothing wrong. He doesn't get Carter or the princess. And it just ends with everybody going over to Costa Luna and watching the coronation and everything like that. And so yeah, like I said before, the first 2/3 are great. It's just that ending, man. The ending landed on a whimper. But this is on Disney Plus, and also this is still on DVD. So go check that out. It's a really cool movie and everything. Selena and Demi are great in this movie. When you see, cause like that's one, cause this movie, when it came out, it was huge. It won like Teen Choice Award, some crap like that. It had so many views, ratings, and stuff when it came out. It was one of the biggest movies because everybody wanted to see Demi Lovato and Selena Gomez together. Because everybody knew of their like friendship and history on Barney and stuff like that. And when you see them interact in this movie, you can tell they used to be buds and everything, and it's so sad they're no longer like friends. Like, man, like what happened? Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.